Good morning, I'm Jane Morgan, and today I am joined by Senior Research Analyst Lawrence Grech from PAC Partners. Good morning, Lawrence.
Good morning, Jane, and hello to all your viewers.
So, Lawrence, you recently initiated on Mongolian coal seam gas exploration company, TMK Energy, with a speculative buy recommendation and a price target of 4 cents. So why search for gas in Mongolia, and what's special about TMK's discovered resource?
Oh, yes, indeed. In 1992, Mongolia became a democratic nation after being within the Soviet orbit. It realised it had fantastic resources, but it did need international help to develop them. And soon it welcomed that help, and we had some spectacular discoveries, including the Oyu Tolgoi copper gold discovery, which many would know about. But at the same time, about 20 years ago, coal seams were discovered that were both thick and high quality. Soon those coal measures were being exploited for sale to China and their steel mills. But people from Australia who have had experience of Queensland coal seam gas also saw potential, in fact, huge potential. And in that, companies like TMK sought to be involved in that industry and saw the potential there. So what TMK did was to team up with a local entrepreneur who was able to pick up some excellent and prospective ground, just as the legislation, the regulations changed to enable coal seam gas exploration and exploitation. Now, what has transpired is they took the approach of looking through over 2,000 coal bores. That's a fantastic endowment of information to high-grade areas for exploration. And indeed, last year, after drilling just 7 shallow wells, they were able to delineate over 1.2 trillion cubic feet of gas. Now, I've been in the oil game a long time and the gas game, and this was one of the most effective and cheapest discoveries of gas of that sort of magnitude. It only cost them a few $1 million, and most of that was done by, paid by a farm out. So TMK have got 67% of this large resource endowment, and they are operators. And what they are proceeding to do now is to say, well, how significant is this? Just for scale, that 1.2 TCF is equivalent to Beach Petroleum's all in their entire gas endowment. So it's larger. Of course, Beach have done a lot more work and they know a lot more about their resource, but really that's what the next phase is all about, to discover more about that 1.2 TCF of gas.
Thanks for that, Lawrence. And so what is the goal of the pilot program, and when can we expect some results?
Indeed. They are undertaking drilling as we speak, the drilling of 3 pilot wells, and the purpose of that program is to see the quality of those resources. Now, what I haven't mentioned is the coal resources are about 50 metres or more in cumulative amount of coal, and there are indications of quite a lot of gas within them. So if we put it on a scale, in Queensland, you might get 10, 15 metres of coal, and they might produce maybe 5-6 billion cubic feet per square kilometre. But we're talking about at least double the amount of gas per square kilometre, and I've mentioned also the 50 metres. Now, what the pilot program will do, you drill your wells, you dewater the seams, the pressure in those seams comes down, and it enables gas to come more freely to the well bore. Now, measuring the rate at which you have to withdraw water and also the rate at which gas starts to come through is those commercial parameters that will make the difference between a very good resource or something that's maybe not developable. Now, we're at that stage. I don't know what the result will be, but I do know one thing. If we do get some good gas flows within the 6-month time period, the next time you do it, you can redesign wells. So I'm looking for some gas flows, reasonable gas flows, but beyond that, I would expect optimization. So I'm very hopeful, and the signs are very good because the resource itself appears very good at this level of knowledge.
Thank you, Lawrence. And so is there more exploration and development activity to come?
Yes, indeed. Over the next, in the December half, we expect 8 further wells to be drilled into another trend. And I'm very hopeful that, just like the first campaign, that they'll be able to add hundreds of BCFs to their resource endowment. They're not stopping at that, though. They've got 2 seismic programs, about 10 kilometres each, that will open up what I think are new areas of development, and for exploration programs in 2024. So I'm very hopeful that this will result in an increasing endowment, and this would be of world scale when you start adding hundreds of BCFs to a 1.22 trillion cubic feet of gas endowment.
Thanks, Lawrence. I know you touched on this earlier. So how significant is the Mongolian and Chinese gas marketing opportunity for TMK?
Yes, indeed. There is a market in Mongolia for gas. In fact, they're less than 1 kilometre away from an existing coal operation, which uses expensive diesel to generate electricity. What they can do is provide, even within this pilot program, if there are decent flows, they can do a test run of producing power and selling to that coal mine. There's about 70 megawatts of opportunity to sell in the local area. That's a lot, but if they are able to prove up hundreds, if not trillions of cubic feet of gas, then the Ulaanbaatar market, where 50% of the entire population lives, becomes available to them. This is one of the most polluted cities in the entire world. They use a brown coal to fire up their power there, and it's quite a dirty affair. So natural gas would be a great health benefit as well as that. But the big market is China. China is already the largest consumer of energy on the planet, and they import about 14 billion cubic feet of gas every single day. To develop a 1 trillion cubic feet of gas field would only cater for China's need for 70 days. So what I believe is if TMK are able to develop these fields, the market in China will absorb it all and want more at the end of it. So I'm very hopeful that TMK will renew their MOU with PetroChina, which is both a pipeline owner and a supplier of gas to the Chinese market. That would enable them a fast track to develop these large resources. So that's the TMK story. There's large upside there for a $75 million cap. We have unknowns. Nature is may be able to provide some good resources, but I do know that with practice you'll be able to get more and more efficient, and I believe that this is a very good chance for going to the next stage of investigation.
Wonderful. Well, Lawrence, thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to further updates from both TMK Energy and PAC Partners.
Thank you. Look forward to that next opportunity. Goodbye, Jane.